the host of Awesome Music. I am blessed to go live with you one more wonderful, wonderful Friday. The year is coming to an end very, very soon. And before you know, it'll be Christmas 2022. Thanks. Also, we are looking forward to some wonderful, wonderful things happening on this very channel for the rest of the year. So, as usual, it's another day given to us by an awesome God to do some awesome things. And we are doing some awesome things with this day that we have. It's Friday, November 18, and it's a great day. And I always say on this show, every day above ground is a good day. Every single day above ground. You might be in the hospital now with all kinds of tubes and wires connected to you, or you're still alive, that there's a chance that you always make a good comeback. So it's every day is above ground is a good day. We have some great music to drop today on the show, and we have a wonderful guest minister in the awesome spotlight today, Friday, and we want you to be blessed by his presentation, by his ministry, and we're going to be talking about some awesome things that will be happening on his side come December 10. And we're going to be talking about that. Very, very excited to share the platform with you. So before we go into it, let me talk about our anniversary show that's coming up in December on the 16th of December. And I want to make a special invitation to all the artists, especially those who have been interviewed on this show from year one all the way to year two. We want to thank you. We want to especially invite you to join us for this wonderful celebration. Also, we'll be having a few little giveaways for this show. And also, we want you to be a part of the show and a part of the celebration. It's going to be virtual and also in person, but we share some more information with you about that. So, want to thank Sister Izzy and all the who are joining. Sister Mel, thank you so much, sis, for joining. Cuz Monica McLean, we really appreciate you joining and sharing this broadcast with us today. It's a real, real good pleasure to share with you. Also on Monday, he was on for the pre-award show for the ABGMA. Jimmy Fagan, he will be my guest on the show on Monday. Monday is normally the awesome word of the week. That's how we're going to be doing with Minister Jimmy Fagan. Also, on Tuesday, we have a wonderful, wonderful family that will be coming up. It's called the Ziegler family. It's a wonderful quartet. They have some real powerful, powerful music, and we're going to be sharing that on the show on Tuesday, 8 p.m. EST. We're going to be having them on the show, and trust me, it's going to be awesome. Thank you, Sister Izzy. Stay Stay safe on the road. Minister Darren Charles, thank you so much for joining us. It's really a pleasure. We have Jamaica locked in. We have USA. We're looking forward to some people join the show as well. So, and if you're on the Instagram platform, thank you so much for joining. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. All right. So, guess what? We're going to be jumping to our first song from our guest, and then right after this song, I'm going to be introducing him to this wonderful platform. So, get your dancing shoes. Just rock, right? Just rock. Last week we had Lionel Tape tearing down the place with some music, and get this week we have a similar kind of style, and we'll be talking about all of that this week as well. So just rock.
You don't know Jamaican Zambia. What a breath of fresh air. J. Jones. When you know, say you have salvation in your life. Martin Lembo. You follow the precepts of Jesus Christ. And sometimes when the problems reach you, you have to just shake them off. Everybody does. With the righteous rock, everybody does. Everybody does. Move on the feet, on the righteous rock, everybody does. Rock, 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 rock. On the righteous rock, everybody does. Rock, 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 rock. On the righteous rock, everybody does. Rock, rock, rock. On the righteous rock, everybody does. Move on the feet, on the feet, on the rock, on the righteous rock. Are you when the praise God? Yes, for the So when we lose, we say to the great okay. I'm a grandfather. Everybody does rock, everybody does rock, everybody does rock, do the righteous rock, everybody does rock, do the righteous rock, everybody does move on the feet, move on the feet, rock, do the righteous rock, everybody does 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 move on the feet, move on the feet, do the rock, do the righteous rock, sending no life with style, but the praises is a fun mover. We ascend the praises from Kingston, go straight down to Nova. Blessing a run with them, so yo, we a stop, make the cup run over. On the highways and the byways, was of the field, so we not stop prayers, not stop prayers, not stop prayers. Everybody does rock. Do the righteous rock, everybody does. Move on the feet, move on the feet, do the rock, do the righteous, everybody does. Rock, do the righteous rock, everybody does. Rock, do the righteous rock, everybody does. Rock, do the righteous rock, everybody does. Move on the feet, move on the feet, do the rock, do the righteous rock. And some sweet gospel music I play in the church, and some people stand up myself. Them never want rock, them body and give us some praise. Them a stand your voice alone can praise. You have to praise like David. Everybody does, everybody does. Everybody does, everybody does. Everybody does, everybody does.
Righteous rock.
Righteous rock.
Yeah. Awesome. So, we need to. We also want to see the Righteous Rock. We are going to be talking about the album launch coming up on December 10th, and I'm sure Righteous Rock on that wonderful day. All right, before I introduce our special guest today, let me big up Tasha's Timely Thoughts, also Evangelist Sister Izzy's mom. Thank you so much, Faith Connection, and also who else am I missing? J Jones 876. I'm sure your wife is watching, bro. Big up to you, wifey, and thank you for supporting. It really feels good when the wives can support the husbands, especially in this music ministry. And for all those who are on, I know that sometimes people are on and we're not able to see them, but thank you so much for joining. And if you're on today on this one, it's really a pleasure having you on. And thank you so much. Evangelist Melvina Thomas, always a pleasure having you on. Thank you so much for joining. All right, so he is a recording artist. He's a singer. He's a songwriter. He's a music minister, and above all, he's a trained teacher. I speak of no other person. J Jones 876. Hey, man, welcome to the Awesome Music Show.
Greetings, Dayle. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man. It's a pleasure. And just chatting back because the power of social media, the power of music. You put those two together, you can do wonders. And it's really good. So it's a pleasure having you on the show for the first time. I'm sure this will not be your last time, but it's really good to have you on the show, and it's really good share in this journey. So we want you to tell us a little bit about where you're from, and just a little bit about who J Jones is. I'm going to be going into the really exciting part of the name, because when I heard the name, I said, hey, I really need to hear how that name came about. Well, tell us a little bit about who J Jones was like, in your early childhood days. Tell us a little bit about that.
All right, so good afternoon again, everybody who is online. Thank you again for your support. J Jones 876. All right, so just like many of us in the music industry, I was one of those who grew up in the church. So I am the third child to pastor and an evangelist. So either way, we did Africa church.
You lock both
So
ends.
yeah, we have a choice. We just did have to go to church. But at
Yes.
an early age of 4 years old, they discovered that I had a love for music, and they started allowing me to at church. They didn't have to stand up on the chair. Yeah, I'm coming from those days when I used to have to stand up on the chair and sing in church, and everybody used to just push me to say, hey, you're gonna be a good singer someday, and so on. But I was at that time I was like, yeah, it's just something that I like, but no, I don't really follow that up. But as
Mm-hmm.
I grew older, I and being in primary school and so on, I started getting exposure to Christmas plays. I don't know how many people remember them little Christmas plays where you used to have
Yes.
to dress up like the shepherd boy, and you know.
Yeah, man.
So
Yeah, man.
that kind of experience kind of put me on stage. So I started getting the stage kind of feeling, and I believe it was at that early age I developed a love for the performing arts, for theater, for stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that. So that period with church, being that I'm a pastor's son, you would
Your mother is
imagine that anybody church will go, me now, I have to go sing for the church. Oh, let Brother Jones do it. Brother Jones can go.
yes, yes.
So Dayle, we used to get a whole heap of that as a child growing up. Oh, no, we can ask Brother Jones to go.
Can't
So,
miss it.
that again does. You were saying?
No, I'm just saying you're boxed in on both sides because your father is a pastor, your mother is an evangelist. So the only thing you can do is really, if you avoid it, is really farm sick, like what we used to do when we young. We close the church time, so we barely hurt you.
Forgive me, Lord. Me used to do too much of that. Oh, there was a time when I couldn't bother Dayle, and serious. We used to do that, man. I'm sick. Me catch flu all of a sudden, and me can't leave the house. Just stay
Yes,
home and just do all sort of things. And by the time me know so them near for come home, confession is good for the soul. By the time
yes.
they're near to come home again.
Yeah,
But
man.
yeah,
Yeah, I know that, bro. We do that, we do that too because we have to try. Sometimes the work is too much, but it was training ground. It was training ground for
it
you,
was.
and trust me, it really has brought out some really good songs that we're going to be listening to on the show, and it's really really good. But before I go to my other questions, let me just pause to big up Ter Teachers Consultancy on the show tonight. Thank you so much, Ter, locked in from Abu Dhabi. Thank you so much. Also, Faith Connection. Yes, I'm Latisha's brother. We definitely will talk after the show. Yeah, man. You can send me an inbox. We can chat. Yeah, man. It's just such a small world
Oh, yeah.
to connect, and that.
Small world indeed. Hi, Ter.
Yeah.
Ter and I are connected from my other YouTube channel.
Oh,
So
that's good, man. Good. That's good.
I'm subscribed to her channel from my other YouTube channel. J says.
All right. All right. So the connection is good. The connection is good. When you go live, you know who will be on and how the connection will go. But one big family. So thank you so much. Yeah, man. So from that early age, though, about what age did you actually decided? I'm gonna just follow in the steps of my parents and become a Christian and start to follow Christ and stuff. What age did that happen for you?
That was around age, maybe age 15, 16, somewhere about. Man, about 26 years now, me about.
Ah,
Yeah, man, about 26 years now, me about.
anybody can do the maths. If you can do maths a little bit better than me, you'll figure out the age. Yeah, man. So that's good. That's
Jesus.
good. Thank you so much, Steve, for joining on the Instagram platform. Really, really good to have you. Abu Dhabi is joining as well on the Instagram platform. So that's really good. So in terms of, so based on what you said, then it seems as if music found you, because a lot of
Mm,
times we find the music, but in your case, the music really found you because you on the cheers from our age and everything. So, in terms of
yes.
transforming that love and that passion for the music from early, how did you actually decide, I'm going to start to do this professionally? About how
All
did that
right.
come about?
All right. So let me take the opportunity to big up my first group that I was ever a part of. Well, not
Yes.
to mention when my brother used to sing, my brother, and I'm talking about the real stuff.
Yes.
I was a part of a group called Redeemed Ones. Big
Okay.
up Anika and Kim and everybody. Y'all know yourselves.
Mm-hmm.
But at the age of about 15, 16, somewhere about in the same time that I got saved, I I used to go to school with Anika, which is a very good singer, Sister Bunny.
Mm-hmm.
And she asked me one day at school, would you like to join a singing group? Me being excited about it, I said, yeah, but I have another friend. His name is Richard.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, if I'm going, Richie, I have to go.
Yeah, man, you need
So I
company.
talked to Richie. Yeah, man, I talked to Richie, and Richie's a pastor now, by the way. And she
Mm-hmm.
said, yeah, bring Richie. So Richard sing bass, excellent bass singer. I'm right down the scale, but particularly I love singing the high tenor, the female tenor,
Yeah, man.
because it's
Yeah,
in my
man.
range. So
Yes.
she said, all right, join the group. We created the group, and that group was a blessing because it took us all over Jamaica as
Mm-hmm.
children. So it was a children's group, teenagers, young teenagers, but we were singing everywhere. We were closing shows. We were on stage with Joan Flemings, all these people. We used to some backgrounds for Joan when Joan would be in St. Thomas. Trust me, it was a good look. And then my music mentor, Mr. Greg Henry, he was one of the first persons who really discovered that I could actually sing, even before Redeem Ones. He was my music teacher
Yes.
at the high school. I went to Happy Grove High School in Portland. And
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Henry is the leader of Redeem 2000 band, but he was also a music teacher at the school. And Mr. Henry heard me singing one day, and he just took a liking to how I sounded, and he said, "All right, listen, you're gonna sing, you know." Some said, "Sir, no," because I was very shy. I was a very shy young man. I said, "No, sir,
Yes.
please." And he said, "No, man, you have to sing." So my
Not an
school,
option.
Happy Grove, we used to have yes. Go ahead, dear.
No, it's not an option. He was not giving you an option. Go ahead and
No,
do
he
it.
wasn't giving me
So
an
that's it.
option. He wasn't giving me an option, but it was a setup because he was already friends with Anika and the rest of them. So he had a plan. So he said to me, all
Mm-hmm.
right, I'm gonna give you an opportunity because my school now, Happy Grove, we used to have Friday concerts almost every week. And it would be a big event where people from other schools would just come in, pay your money
Mm-hmm.
and come in and enjoy the concert.
Yes.
And he put me on the spot one Friday. I was there backstage because I love the music, so I would be around the musicians. And that man just called me out in the middle of the stage like a deer in a headlight and just stick the mic in front of me and say, sing. He said to me, it don't matter where you sing, it don't matter what song, how
Just
you
do something.
sing. Just sing something.
Wow.
And trust me, I sang, I don't remember exactly what song I sang. I think it was like a bridge over troubled waters. And that was
Yes.
trouble for the rest of the time for me. Because every teacher now knew that I could sing.
Yeah.
The whole school now knew that I could sing because I was involved in track and field at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So this track and field guy now, all of a sudden everybody know that he could sing.
Mm-hmm.
And they just started picking on me to do devotions at school, everything. But the thing about it though, Dayle, and I'll let everybody know, self-esteem is a very big and important thing. Now, during that time, I had very bad
Yeah.
acne, terrible acne. So I guess that was one of the things that caused me to shy away from most things.
Mm-hmm.
But then
Mm-hmm.
all the persons who used to tease me now wanted to become my friend when they found out that I could sing. And as a
Yeah.
result, now singing became something that I started accepting for myself because singing now
Yeah.
gave me acceptance. And every
Mm-hmm.
teenage boy wants acceptance,
Yeah,
you
man.
know. So it started from there. And with Anika now, Mr. Henry just say, all right. So Anika talked to you about the group. I'm going to now take you guys when the band is going out. So
Yes.
wherever they were booked, they would just take the group, and yeah, it was amazing.
Oh.
Just we're all over Jamaica.
So it's really exciting though, because you got, we would call that your first baptism in music, because a lot of
Oh
people
yes.
would not even find, a lot of people would go dumbstruck. First of all, dumbstruck, because here you are in front of a crowd and somebody just give you a microphone and say, "Hey, sing."
I couldn't
I
move the but my freeze.
yes, and I guess maybe the person, the band leader, saw something in you that you didn't see in yourself, which a lot of times, as you said, boys needs that kind of encouragement and everything, and the self esteem has to be up. He saw
Yeah.
something in you that maybe you didn't see, and he said, "You know what? This is my way of pulling it out." So really big up to that teacher and that band leader, because trust me, that's a great start, and I'm sure from that first experience you would now be able to feel more comfortable when you're on stage, to sing and do what you found an easy song too, drive the notes right up the scale and just do your thing. So that's really really good. So in terms of so you toured nationally with the group for a while. When did you actually decide you're gonna do your first recording, and what was that first song for you?
All right. So before 2004, by 2004, everybody was going separate ways.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Persons are getting through for college. Persons became a nurse, and so on. So there was literally no group. It was just Anika, and I was off in Kingston at the time. We were
Mm-hmm.
scattered. Diane had
Yeah.
migrated. So Richie had migrated as well to Manchester. Richie moved to Manchester. So everybody was everywhere. And I started college, Michael University. Big up everybody who go to Michael. Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
And being at Michael now from 2004, 2003, 2004, I said, all right, maybe this is another opportunity for me to just hide from music. But
Mm-hmm.
then I got through for the music program at Michael. So, that now gonna really work.
Yes.
And shortly after that, Miss Carr, Esme Carr, can't forget this lady.
Mm-hmm.
She found out that I had vocal ability. It was not just about instruments, because I was interested in drums. She was interested in vocals, and I became a part of the Michael choir. And I started singing on the choir, and Miss Wilson as well. They were instrumental in me learning proper vocal training, like just learning
Yes.
to really manage my voice. And it was just great. So in learning that, I met a man called Mark Reynolds,
Mm-hmm.
and Mark discovered that I could also write, because by this time I had started messing
Started right.
around a little bit of writing. I was dabbling. I wasn't even writing because I didn't. And then reggae gospel never did out yet.
Mm-hmm.
It
Yeah.
never fully out yet. So
Yeah.
yeah, it
We're
never
gonna touch that as
fully.
well. We're gonna
Yeah,
touch that as
the
yeah. Go
reggae
ahead. Go
gospel
ahead,
part
man.
I never too hot. So it wasn't an accepted genre for many people. And as such, I think my first song that I wrote that I never recorded, and I can only remember part of it, is I think it was Fire, something about Fire. I don't remember, but
Mm-hmm.
something
Yeah. Yeah.
Dayle. And I wrote that song, and he heard it, and he invited me to his home studio, and I had some girls from my music class, and I nicknamed them Melody, spelled um
Mm.
with an I at the end. And
Yes.
so it would be J Jones and Melodies. So
Yeah.
we started with that little thing, and we started just doing a little bit of singing here and there, and I recorded a track with Mark. Um, but that chapter, and I don't want to you know step on anybody's toe, but it was a part of my life where I was learning the hard way. So I don't even remember most of that. I put it behind me, but my first recording was with Mark. And
okay.
I put that behind me. But I threw Mark again a few years later after I pack up music again. In 2007, Mark reached out to me and he said to me, I have a project that I would want you to get on. And I was like, really? No, I don't do no more project with you, Mark. And he said, yeah, I have a serious project that you're gonna get up front for for whatever work you do, and I want you to just give a listening ear. So I gave him a listening ear, and Mark brought me to Randy McLean, P&W Records. We had a sit down and we discussed the project that they were having, which was the Pop Volume 1 album. And Mr. McLean took such a liking to my sound is that on that record, I ended up having 3 songs when everybody else had 1 or 2. So even DJ Nicholas had 1 track on that album. No, DJ Nicholas had 2 tracks on that album. But I have a collaboration that I did with Gotti Gotti called what's the song that I did with Gotti Gotti again?
So it's Pop Volume 1. That's the album you're mentioning. Pop Volume 1, right?
Yes. So I did a track with Gotti Gotti, and I did 2 more songs on that album as well. Pop Volume 1. And as I always say, the rest is history. I started getting traction from then. P&W started liking my sound, and they started put into a broader audience. So I was going to different places in and around Kingston and across the island to perform with the team. And that was one of my first real experiences with a big studio backing band in studio to do in-house recording kind of thing. Yeah, so it was a great experience. And then at the time I was working at Jamaica Youth for Christ, because I got a teaching job and it never worked out. So I got another job with Jamaica Youth for Christ at the time, and things went a little bit sideways. And Mr. McLean, thank God for him, Mr. McLean said, come home. And I went home and I decided to do drops for disc jockeys, do my recording with them, just do some music. And God bless Mr. McLean. Mr. McLean made sure that I wasn't hungry during that period of time. He, paid my bills, take care of me.
Yes.
But in that time, I got my first ever nomination in 2008. By this time, it was 2008. And I got nominated now by Mega Jams Radio for Best New Artist for the year. That was 2008. And that was a plateau for my success. After that, things were going good, and then I had some unfortunates where tragedy hit. And let me just take this opportunity to just talk to somebody. Whenever you are rising in any genre, anything that you're doing, when you are closest to your peak, that is when the enemy will attack you the most. And there are times when people will be close to you and you think that they are genuine, but you have to be extremely careful to keep your eyes open, because it's not everybody who actually is celebrating your victory. Some of it is pretentious, and I can tell you there are some people who under their breath they are wishing for your downfall. I just wanted to share that with somebody in case somebody might be naive to this. You have to be careful with your ministry. You have to guard what God has deposited in your life. Reason being, if you don't do that, then somebody's going to try to tamper with that and mess with it. So what happened is that I was living in Stony Hill and things were going good. Recording artists. Mr. Gallimore and I were very good friends at the time. So Gally would have come check me at the house and we would have just hung out. But I had some
Yes.
neighbors
Yes.
who would see different artists passing through my place, and they just never liked it. And my
Mm-hmm.
neighbor made a false report, to the police station,
Please.
and it got me into some trouble. And it took a few years for me to pass that, for me to actually be proven innocent. Many years. It took about 10 years for me to be
Wow.
proven innocent. Yeah, long. 10. I'm not joking. About 10 years. And as you would imagine, during that time, no record label is going to want to hold on to an artist that they're not sure will
Yes.
be able to give them back their money. So we kind of lost relationship
Yeah.
during that time, and I was on my own. So I pack up music. 2009 coming up, I just say, all right, me done. Me just,
Done with it.
me done. I'm done. Done with it.
Yeah.
And I was just there, but I was still, even though I said I was done with music, I still had a relationship with a few people in the industry that, who, would check on me every now and again. And as such, I got connected with J Music, J Mix. No, it wasn't J Mix yet. It
Mm-hmm.
was what this guy name again? They used to live in Duanipen. They used to have their studio in Duanipen. I can't remember the other guy name, but they put me on a
Yeah.
track
Okay.
that I think you have with you today. It's Dead Weight. You know, one of
Mm-hmm.
Dead Weight
Yes.
when I
Yeah.
bring me up.
We're dropping that.
Yeah, man. And
Yeah, man.
Dead Weight was my version of venting, because that was my first time back in the studio, and
Yeah.
say
Yeah. Drop it.
if you catch them, you're gonna lick them.
Yeah.
So everything in that song, there, deal.
Yes.
Everything in
Yes.
that song, and I just let it out. And in 2011, we dropped that song, and that song started giving me back some attention in the music industry, and people started recognizing that my
Mm-hmm.
sound had changed. So I was now becoming more hardcore at that time.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't the singing that they were used to anymore. It was a more hard version of J Jones. It's J Jones at the time. The
Yeah.
876 not even added yet, because that
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
another transition. But J Jones, and I started getting radical now, because I
Mm-hmm.
go through something, and if you don't go through nothing, you
Situation.
can't really.
Yeah.
Sure. So yeah, man, I had a
Yeah.
reason now deal to really just get serious.
Yeah.
And a lot of people who hear that track, they said, "Listen, Jay, you did sound like you did very angry that the student did it." But I wasn't angry, but I had to get it out. I had to get it off of my chest.
Yeah. Yeah.
So me just talk about a bag of things in other song deal. And
All right.
in 2011, we dropped that on.
I-
All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, man. Finish your point. Finish your point. Because I have a few people
Yeah,
in the chat
man.
I need to big up as well. But finish your point. Finish your point.
Yeah, man. So I was saying that after doing that song now, things started looking up. But you know,
Mm-hmm.
the black sheep, nobody not really gonna give a helping hand, because everybody know everybody in the industry. And if there's a story like the one that I had lingering over my shoulders, nobody not gonna really want to put a finger. So I would connect with other producers and so on, and everybody else said, "Boy, Jay, would I love to give you strength,
But
and me just it just caused me to just feel like a misfit. Like, what am I doing here? If the people that I music was my escape, and if the people that I would have wanted to be in my corner were not there, people who would have did confide in and talk to were doing the hands off kind of thing, then might as well me just leave them alone. I don't need to be here. And I just went quiet again for
yeah.
another long time, and that was when I decided to just go get a teaching job in 2000 and no in 2009. I was back and forth in the industry, but I decided to get a teaching job and leave out that, and I just went education. So I was already
Mm-hmm.
a teacher, but I wasn't doing teaching. So me just get a classroom job, and me just spend another 10 years in another classroom.
Right.
I spent a couple of years in the classroom, but music was always calling. And I don't know about nobody else, but when music call, you have to answer, man. You can't behave like you put your finger in your ears, and you have to listen, because I believe in seasons and timing, Dayle. And
Yes.
nothing will happen before the season, and nothing can happen before God's timing. And if there's a need for something that comes only out of you, no matter what you try, you can run, go anywhere you want to go. Gotta go find a way to draw that out of you, because you have to
Yeah.
say it. Because He's not gonna give that power to somebody else when the ministry of saying something profound is in your life.
Yeah.
Because Dale's journey might not be Jay's journey, you know. But Jay's journey might come with some hardship, but we are all working towards that one goal. We know that finishing line that we want to get to. You understand? It might take me a longer time to get to that finishing line than it would somebody else. But as I always say to my wife, celebrate the journey, man. Just celebrate it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The warfare. Celebrate it. It'll put you somewhere, because it's spiritual character. You're actually flexing your spiritual muscles when you learn how to fight. And I'm gonna go through it, Dayle. But
Mm-hmm.
somehow music called me again, and in 2018, I started drop back music, and I just started putting out songs. More work with a whole heap of people. work with a couple of persons that are known, some unknown, but we started dropping music. And in 2019, I think I released about 10 songs. Did some work with Sherwin Music, do some work with Sherwin, do some work with J-Mix, do some work with a lot of people. A couple of people there. Some money for work and thing. So
That's good. Yeah, I connected with Sherwin Music. I think he's out of Montego Bay. He's in Montego Bay.
Yeah, man.
No.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right. That's good. All right, let me just big up some people in the chat. And Robert Music, big up to you, bro, for joining. Thank you so much. Also, encourage me. Let me check in the chat if there's anybody else that I'm missing, because we
Big up yourself, Andrew.
Yeah, man, definitely. Yeah, I think I've touched most of that. Who else is in the chat? But it's really good to have a few persons on tonight. It's really good to have you in the chat. Sister Izzy, as always, thank you so much, Sister Izzy, for sharing this wonderful ministry through Minister J. Jones, DJ Analyst. Thank you so much for joining as well. Big up to your channel as well. It's really good. And bro, trust me, you have been through so much, and you said one thing, that when there's something in you that God wants you to say, it doesn't matter where you are, it's gonna always come back around, because guess what? You have to say it. You know Jamaican talk. You have to say it. So with all of what you went through, and packing up so many different times to say, hey, I'm done with this music thing. The music just keep tracking you down. So it's really amazing. But let's stay at track, and then we come back to a few other. Mention something about the changing after time. So we want to talk about that. And also, you mentioned about, the reggae gospel genre not taking, form by a certain time. So we want to talk about those two things after we take this from you. Dead weight, and this is something we do right now. On the awesome show right now.
Some friend up in the house. I need a here or there. The righteous exalt me and sinners unto any people. So some of them friend them have to drop them off. J. Jones 2011. We know the way when I'm a bring up. We know I'm a friend, we only come around to miss me up. We are pressed to want them all because of Christ. But some friend for them was obviously we stole. no want no dead weight when I go pray we up. We no want no friend, we only come around to mess we up. We oppress to all the man because of Christ I bless we up. But some friend pretend that walk this thing we stop. Yo. Them say them love you like a brother when them a stab you in your back. Them a try to break you down and tear you down, fall off behind your back. You better not take me. This up my stop. Ah, yeah. No for them no love you, you them say them are your friend. Them no want to see you rise, them smile when you wanna pretend. Them a talk before you owe you good, but still them want your ends. So be very careful how you choose your friends. Ah, yeah. We no want no dead weight when I go pray we up. We no want no friend, we only come around to mess we up. We oppress the one them all because of Christ I bless we up. But some friend pretenders want to see we slow. We no want no dead weight when I go pray we up. We no want a friend, we only come around to mess we up. We oppress the one them all because of Christ I bless we up. But some friend pretenders want to see we slow. Yo, no person away anyway. If I never did love our Christ many times, them would have very way. Love like a family. Every time we don't go back to them, they wish they could have carry me. Friend pretend like you miss a repeat. Cop on the day judgment, yo, we don't want no apology. Our request away. So, oh, you can't sell a friend with a trophy. We don't want no dead weight when I pray we up. We don't want no friend, we only come around to mess me up. We oppress the one them all because of Christ I bless me up. So friend so want no dead weight when I pray we up. We know one friend we only come around to mess me up. We oppress the one them all because of Christ I bless me up. But some friend protect us from see we so like yo. Them say a Christian don't be the gospel hard, but me up is very practically to please the Lord. In my easy be a baby you did God, so you're free and them a bishop. A lot of friends them only come around to make you weak. Them no share the views they share and them no see the things you see. Them no have the grave you have because so watch the things you speak. Cause of Christ alone the area we a see. Aye. We no want no dead weight when I go pray we up. We no want no friend we only miss we up. We oppress the one Christ bless we up. But some people pretenders want to see we slow. We no want no dead weight when I go pray we
No
up.
dead
We
weight.
no want no friend we only come around to mess we up. We oppress the one because of Christ bless we up. But some friend pretenders want to see we slow. We no want no dead weight when I go pray we up. We no want no friend we only come around to mess we up. We oppress the one because of Christ bless we up. Some friend we slow.
Blessings, 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 bro. I love it. It's an easy song. You can listen to the song while driving. Listen it in your office. You can just bounce to the song, and it's really really good and love it. Message: no dead weight. You don't want nobody in your circle when now go pray you up, and it's really really good. I always say it, these days are so important for us and for those of you who are on the live. Really important not to have persons, not putting anybody down or anything, but if you're moving with a certain cause, the persons who are in your circle has to be a part of that same cause. If everybody is thinking differently, two can't walk together unless they agree. Because
Yes, I
if you
agree.
want to go left, one want to go right, one want to turn back, then that can't work. So it's a really powerful song. And as you said, you wrote that song when you just went through a series of situations. So you were just really coming out and just singing from what was inside of you. And that was really good. That was really good, bro. Nice. And I love the beat, just about everything about the song. Caribbean Gospel Zone, thank you so much for joining. And those who are on the chat, thanks so much to Terry Teachers Consultancy, Sister Izzy, Evangelist Melvina Thomas, my co-host. Thank you so much for just helping. Definitely it helps to have you guys in the chat. So as Terina said, like, share, and subscribe to the channel to help us push this wonderful, wonderful show, this wonderful, wonderful ministry. Some really great interviews happening on there. I look forward to these ministers coming on just to share every single week. If you're in the chat or if you're on this live and I have not recognized you, just know that you are blessed. We are blessed to have you on, and it's a pleasure just to serve you as host one more time. DJ Analyst, all the way from Canada, thank you so much for being on the show as well. It's really, really good to have you on the Instagram platform. Thank you so much. So we have Canada, we have USA, we have UAE, we have Jamaica, we have Trinidad, Sister Michelle and the crew from Trinidad. Thank you so much. Really a pleasure having you on. Florida
Belize.
represents Izzy. Belize as well. Blessings, 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 blessings. It's really good. Really, really good. So as you said, bro, you don't want to dead weight. We now go pray up. Really, really awesome. So tell us though, you mentioned the singy J Jones at the time. At what point did the genre of the music slightly change to what we're hearing now? And also, the 876, I'm just guessing it has something to do with the era code of Jamaica or something, but you can tell us. Excited to hear.
All right. So the more hardcore sound started, I would say more along the lines of 2011 during that rough time, that rough patch.
Yeah, yeah.
It was more, as I said, it was more of a venting and deal. So
Mm-hmm.
no more soft guy, no more. You know, like you have yeah, but come out of my shell. Put it that way.
Yeah,
Yeah, man,
the
come out of my
situation
shell.
has really pushed you sometimes, to adjust a bit, to adjust and thrust forward. So that's good.
Yeah, man. So around that time, I actually open up to that like it was always knocking on the door because there were other songs that predate Deadweight, but
Mm-hmm.
never really as hardcore per se.
Yeah.
Yeah, them did hardcore because I did a little thing with Destiny Records at Martin Heritage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did some work with them as well. Like when I'm at older tracks, Jesus Christ, I'm a king, But
Mm-hmm.
all of them songs are like when you're young and you don't really know the industry, and it has a way of you not really accessing some of your older tracks, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Because
Yeah,
you do
man.
them for producer and
Over
producer
the
will say,
years,
all right.
you lose things. Yes.
So, you know, but big up yourself, Martin's Heritage, big up yourself, Destiny Records.
Mhm.
It's something go Garfield, big up
Yeah.
Randy McLean, big up everybody, yeah man. Whole heap of love JF on the scene because y'all got me on the radio. So, really, really love
Mhm.
you guys.
That's
Um,
good.
but the journey to Dayle, I started finding myself. Put it that way. I
Mm-hmm.
started finding myself because I realized now that I wouldn't say I was no longer governed by what people say, but I start listening to me more and listen to what God tell me and how God tell me. So
Mm-hmm.
at that time, I hear it in a fancy way in my ears. I
Yeah.
hear it that Jay, today you're to be forming the words properly. Me I hear it in a radical way in my ears.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
understand?
Yeah.
So all me
Fine.
hear it in my spirit, all me just put it back to my mouth.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people would know me as the guy we can sing, we can just sing. They like a
Mm-hmm.
bridge guy. Like a
Mm-hmm.
bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
at this time now, even my father was like, no, don't accept that. You're a singer, man. No, you're a singer, so you need to sing. The DJ is something not
Awesome
gonna way.
coming out.
So, me just used to just hide and just do my thing. And then by this time, I was no longer in their house. So you
Mm-hmm.
would have said, man, a big man. So we can
Big
do
man
more
out.
and do. Yes. So, just start putting out music like that. And
Yeah.
the music started sounding like that more and more. And, to God be the glory. Here we are today. Finally releasing an album after people cuss me and tell me, say, we need to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, we're putting that together. And God all the glory goes back to Him. Because we couldn't do this for my own deal. And all of these
Yeah.
songs that I have been putting together all these years, it does finally feel like it'll pay off. Thank God for Sister Izzy. There are so many other
Mm-hmm.
traumatic things that happened during the period of time to Dayle that would actually guide me towards who I am. You know, a lot of traumatic things, but I overcame. I overcame,
Yes, yes.
and because of me being an overcomer, I can now look straight in the camera and tell somebody that, hey, if I could do it, you can do it too.
Mm.
If I made it
Yeah,
this
man, that's
far, it don't make no sense you give up because you can make it too. Because I don't think that a lot of people want to hear this kind of narrative when they're going through their situation. But here before
yeah.
you is somebody who went through the worst and is still here. You know?
Mm. Wow, wow, powerful, bro, powerful, powerful. And I mean, when we listen to people like you, you're a survivor. I just saw an artist posted something similar. I think it's Sterling Roberts on his page from Trinidad about people pulling the plug
Man,
on their lives because of the things that they are going through or things that they have gone through. And he was just
yeah.
encouraging people just to stay on track, just to stay focused. And even in the chat,
Mm,
I saw someone posting that earlier, just stay focused and, not even focus on the people who are causing the distraction and causing you the hurt. Because
mm,
look at what God is doing now in your life, in your ministry. Several times, and I'm just here smiling and saying, God must be saying, what J. Jones really thinking about?
I'm up to.
Still have some work for him to do. So where you think going? So it's really good. It's good, bro. So there's so much we could touch on, but trust me, we'll be on here for maybe 2-3 hours. But we have
Yeah.
some really, really awesome things coming up. And you mentioned the album, you mentioned Sister Izzy, and Sister Izzy is your official management, and we want to talk a little bit about that. Also, this upcoming album on the 10th of December in St. Thomas, that's where the album launch will be. So, talk to us a little bit about how this whole album came about, and you can give us the name of the sharing flyer on well, those who on your pages. But just tell us a little bit about that upcoming album launch and all some of the ministers who will be on it. Of course, Sister Izzy will be on it, and Sister Izzy has some wonderful tracks that will be on it. And I'm sure Sister Izzy's mom is not gonna let her travel to Jamaica alone to that show.
Oh, no,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
no.
So trust me, we want to hear some more about that. Thank you so much. I am Adrian 100 for joining. Thank you so much for being on the
Blessings, Adrian.
platform.
All right. So before that,
Yeah.
I have to tell you how all of this came about, Dale. Before I tell you about the album, and I won't be long. So just like what I got up and said, but J. Jones thinking about. So let
Mm-hmm.
me tell you how that happened. Yeah, man, me get the drip up for real.
Yeah.
I was presumptuous enough to go to God and say, hey, God, me done with this. Like this time around, no, God, me done. No, me not have nothing to do with music. Talking about coming out of COVID, coming out of
Mm-hmm.
Corona, just say, boy, done with the music. Something. Nobody's hearing my music, and my music now. So me pack it up. And it was in a prayer I was saying that to God. Done with my prayer, because it's something you have to talk to God and reason. About 2 weeks later, Shaggy Tosh, and I'll call his name. I'll be bold enough to call his name. Shaggy reached out to me,
Yeah.
and that's Shaggy Tosh out of UK.
Yeah, man.
He's
Yeah,
a
man.
radio personality out of UK. And Shaggy reached out to me, and Shaggy said, Jay, I have a word for you. The Lord said to tell you that you're planning to give up on music, but you can't give up on music now because people are hearing your music. No, I never had a discussion with Shaggy. I never told
Mm-hmm.
him, but God actually heard me and sent the message through him to tell me not to give up on music because people
All
are
the way from the UK.
hearing my music. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I heard it, but I never really took it. It never sink in yet. And about 2 weeks later, somebody introduced me to Izzy's platform because Izzy's also a broadcaster as well.
Yes.
And I met her, and she was playing. I somehow passed on music to her. I mailed my tracks to her, the old tracks, because by this time I never did no music. So I sent her material, pardon me, and she loved them. And I don't know, somehow we had conversation, and out of the conversation, she told me that she was also a manager, but she was telling me that she was no longer managing the artists that she had before. You know, she wasn't managing anybody at the time, I presume. And she said to me, she's gonna pray. And about a couple of days after, she reached out back to me and she said she prayed and God told her to give me a chance.
Yes.
And since I met Sister Izzy, I have been getting so much traction, it's not even funny. And on top of that, I have also received international nominations for tracks that I have, you know. Also want to take the opportunity to big up my producer presently, Dino Dean, out of Jamaica as well. Dino, boy, without you, little bro, it wouldn't, none of this possible, because when everybody in the gospel fraternity gave up on my music, you as a secular producer say, hey, come to the studio, me not charge you, just come sing and just get your songs in recorded. And you know, I have to pray for Dino, because I just want God to just keep working on him and bless him, because you know studio time is expensive. And out of nothing, Dino called me and said, come, and he took me in. And to show you how dedicated he is to my ministry, whenever I am coming to the studio, if you have no secular artist or anybody there, Dino clears out the studio and allow me to stay by myself. So no smoking
Favor,
in
bro.
the
That's
studio,
favor.
no nothing in the studio. It's favor. Studio clear.
Yeah.
And if they're even there, they have to stay on the outside. You know, I'm a mix with them. None at all. And I'm like, but bro, the whole of way there, I'm saying, no. Whenever I do your music, me zone in. And believe me, that's powerful. So earlier this year, you know, said to me, Jay, a time now, you know. So me say, what do you mean a time now? And him say, a album time. So yeah, man, it's an album time. So Dino said, listen, I'm opening up my catalog to you. Any one of my beats where you listen to on the YouTube, the YouTube channel, and you like, you just pick any one of them and just write a song for them and come to the studio and record it. Yeah, just pick anyone, write a song and just record. And Izzy gave me a similar challenge in the same week. Izzy said to me, I need 4 songs by Monday. No, I need 3 songs by Monday. I said,
Get to
all right.
work.
Izzy said that. Yeah, Izzy said that, and Dino said that at the same time. All right, work time. And
Yes, yes.
I'll tell you, Dayle, I went into the studio Saturday morning. I went into the studio. When I left the studio, I had 4 songs. I had four songs. When I left the studio that day, so I actually record 4 songs in one day. Tired, but enjoy the whole journey. Because I was able to just listen to a track and say, all right, I like the one here, and it's all right, go in the booth. Anything where you feel, just do it.
Drop it. Yeah.
So you know, that's how the album started taking shape. Till we are at the point where we are actually are pending an album launch.
All right.
So now we can go into the album launch story.
Yeah, man, definitely. So let me big up all those in the chat alive, Sister Izzy. Big up to you, Sister Izzy. And I must say publicly, for those who have never seen Sister Izzy in person, you would feel as if it's someone you have seen before. Because Sister Izzy is just lending herself, even to the very show. Sister Izzy supports both online and behind the scenes. We talk, we share, and really thank you so much for sharing all of these wonderful ministers. Your mom, who is always supporting, Terry Teachers Consultants, every single person in the chat. Thank you so much for keeping the chat alive and for keeping the alive. And we are talking to Minister 876, and it's really, really awesome. My sister Latisha, thank you for joining as well and for being a part of the show always. I'm gonna play one track, which is your newest track, "Cried Alone," and we're gonna bring. Then after that, about
Yes, sir.
your album launch. If you want to introduce the song, not a problem. You can go and introduce that song, "Cried Alone," because I know this must be a part of your story as well, which is always good when you write music that's coming from within. You're not just on someone or something. You're writing something that's your part of your story that other people can really tell us a little bit about.
Cried Alone. As the name suggests, cried alone. It's telling you a whole story by the statement. Now, Cried Alone, it just, that song captures a time in my life where the one I told you that there are other traumatic stories. There's one particular story that is terrible, terrible.
Yes.
And I was married before,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a terrible relationship, if you understand where I'm going with that. And
Yes.
we had a bad separation. We had a very nasty split. My wife actually got me into trouble with the law again, and it was just painful. And in the midst of all of that, my wife decided to book a flight, leave the country to be with her ex-lover. We can't talk it now because I'm all right, you know.
Yes.
And during that period of time, it put me at a place, Dayle, where I literally almost lost my mind. Where I literally almost lost my mind. And I'm talking about as far back as 2016, 2017. I would just sit there and just rock from back and forth and just cry.
Oh.
And all of those tears were dry tears, like no water, no drop. But I would just be bawling. And if you notice, I turned my head to the right a while ago. I was talking to my mom. A while ago, she was saying something to me off camera. She was instrumental. God, I appreciate her. She was instrumental during that period of time because she never roughed me. She just walked with me during the period of time for me to gather myself back together. And I was telling somebody this story on my platform this past week because my wife took over my show last week. What's your story? Because I have a channel as well, and I do a talk show called What's Your Story. So she interviewed me, and I was telling
as well.
Definitely, I can do that. And she asked a very, very important question. I was just talking about that period of time, and I was telling a story of how I came out the day when my mom decided, and she just grabbed me and told me going to the shower. But Dayle, I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to take care of myself. I didn't want to do nothing. And she said, go into the shower. You're going to bed. And I was just there, and she said, if you don't take off your clothes, I'm going to wet you up. You're bed today. And you'll fix up yourself.
Mama boy.
And yeah, man, she roughed me. She roughed me the day. And Dayle, I got a shower. And I come out of the bathroom. And for the first time, that was the day that I didn't cry. And I started feeling an urgency to just get up out of the chair that I normally sat. I didn't sit there today. And I put on my clothes. I grabbed some button downs and tie and everything. And I put on my clothes for the first time. It would have been for almost a year. I had not left my house. Think about it. Almost 1 year. Not leaving the house. I'm not going to church. I'm not going nowhere. No, I'm just home. I know I don't want nobody trouble me. Depressed. Stressed, depressed, and almost going crazy. And I put on the clothes and I left and I went to my capital town, Mark Bay, because I'm from St. Thomas. And I didn't have a reason to go to Mark Bay, but I just went and I walked up and down. But it felt good. And the next day, Dayle, I put on my clothes again and I walk out and I went on the town and I walk up and down and I came home. You know, just like as if I would have been going to work.
Yes. Yeah.
And I started doing that, and it allowed me to start getting more comfortable coming out of the house. And that is how I
Yeah.
started showing back my face in public. You know, because the allegations that my wife had raised against me were terrible. So it had damaged my moral. It allowed people to start seeing me in a negative way. So I was
Yes.
afraid of going out on the road, knowing even then that she was telling a lie. But I cried
Yes.
alone during this period, Dayle. I know rock bottom. I know it feel like to be by myself. I know it feel like to not have no support of anybody. I know what it feels like where it feel like nobody no care. Or particularly the persons who you'd want to care don't care. I know what that
Care.
feel like. And you know, God just gave me this song to just reflect. So if you listen to the album, if you get a chance to hear some of the tracks from the album, you'll realize that all the tracks have a particular theme. They're all talking about where I'm coming from, the journey I took, and where I am now. And even my talk show, What's Your Story? It's the same concept. Where you're coming from, your journey that you took, where you are now, and where you're heading. Same thing. All the
Wow.
songs are like that. You know, so Cried Alone is actually painting a picture and telling a story of that journey. You can drop the track now and let everybody hear for themselves.
All right. All right. Blessing. So we're gonna be hearing "Cried Alone" from Minister J. Jones, and trust me, this is gonna be a great album launch. Once we finish this track, then we're gonna just talk about the details of the show that will be on December 10 in St. Thomas, and we're talking about artists who will be on that show. J. Jones, and this is a wonderful one. One more coming from the catalog.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I've cried alone. Yeah. I've cried alone. I just me and tears on myself. Buckle full of tears could have put on the shelf. But alone like me, nobody else. I've cried alone. I just me and my tears on myself. Buckle full of tears could have put on the shelf. But alone like me, nobody else. I go through no for them till me see me would have never go through. Hey, but I got my rock so me go and hold me space and I press in a militant mood. Only if I bring slip up and move. Don't jump couple days young me never have food. But I got my back so me just go and reflect and I dream my youth. Just me and my tears and myself. Me nobody else I'm spread alone. I just me and my tears on myself. Buckle full of tears, could I put on the shelf? Not alone like me, nobody else. Life is my youth meditation. Not everybody smile with you and people reach.
People rather use
Carry on me and me not stagger that your strength and your shield. And wipe your tears so you know you depend on what sure the thing complete. I'm spread alone. I drown my tears on myself. Buckle full of tears, could I put on the shelf? God alone and me, nobody else. I'm spread alone. I just me on my tears on myself. Buckle full of tears on the shelf. God alone and me, nobody else. I got my rock, so me go and hold me space and I press in a militant mood. Only for friends live up. Don't me never have food. But I got that rock, me just want to reflect on a dream mind. I just me and my tears on myself. Buckle full of tears, full of food on the shelf. Got that one me, nobody else I'm scared of now. I just me and my tears on myself. Buckle full of tears, full of food.
Cried Alone from Minister J. Jones. Big up to Don Prince A. Also John Bless. Thank you so much for the platforms on. Really, really good. Bro, you spoke about the song song earlier, how this song came about and things that you were going through at the time, a terrible breakup, and how you survived. Yes, you were home for almost a year, not wanting to go anywhere, but guess what? God allowed you to come out from that with the help of your mom and all the other persons that's in your life. And you could now come out with such a powerful song that I'm sure a lot of people can relate to. They'll be hearing this song at your album launch on December 10th. Tell us about the album launch. Some of the persons that will be on the album launch is the energetic Ryan Davis. He'll be on. Sister Bonnie will be on. Vessel, the Gifted, Omar Douglas, Brother Simon, Minister Aya Lyon, Claudius Wong, Trevon Clark, and of course, Sister on the
Izzy.
Beat will be on as well. Yeah, so give us
Yes,
the other
sir.
details at cost, time, starting time, and also the location. Tell us about the details of the show.
All right. So the album, first of all, is called Better Me. Better Me is actually the title track from the album. I'm not sure you have that song. That song is not out yet, as you would imagine, because the album not dropped yet. But the
Yeah, man.
title track from the album, Better Me. So the album launch is called Better Me, and Better Me is going to be at the Stokes Hall Baptist Church on the 10th of December. Stokes Hall Baptist Church, located here in St. Thomas on the Golden Grove, along the Golden Grove Main Road. So Stokes Hall is before Golden
Yes.
Grove. All right. So the easy location. Once you're coming from Kingston and you drive the Kingston side, you have to pass Stokes Hall Baptist Church once you once you're coming around my side. All right. Ministers on there. You remember earlier I spoke about Sister Bonnie, Anika. She's the same
Yeah.
person. So she's also solo now, and she's going to be there as well, God's willing. Ryan Davis.
Yes.
Ryan Davis might go. Ryan's gonna be there. Ryan, you remember I told you about the Stony Hill part of my life?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, man. Ryan and I became friends from that because Ryan's brother Clement and I used to go to the same church, so that's how I met Ryan. And Omar Douglas,
Great.
another great
Good
friend of
connection,
mine.
man. Good connection.
Solid connection.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Omar Douglas, another close friend of mine. He's also an excellent minister out here in St. Thomas. Multi JCDC gospel finalist. Also Claudius Wong. Claudius Wong was my best friend in high school, and he used to be a part of the little boss singing group that we had.
Yeah.
So you know the history, and then now he's now deacon in his church. So he's also
Awesome.
a very good DJ. Trevon Clark, Trevon Clark, from formerly lead singer of Catalyst Crew.
Yes.
Close friend of mine again. And Brother Simon, good friend. Vessel and I used to be at P&W Records at the same time. In the same time when I was at P&W Records, Vessel was there as well. So,
That's
label mate. So,
yes.
it's gonna be crazy. The Gifted is also a part of the family with Sister Izzy. So, I'm a what do you call it now? My management brother.
Okay, great.
Sister
That's
Izzy,
good.
yes. And then now Aya Lyon now is also another powerful artist out of St. Thomas who got saved straight out of the dancehall. So his ministry was not, it's not Sunday school him get saved, and it's not Bible study him get saved.
Yes.
Him get saved while rolling up a spliff in the dancehall, and God just talk to him and say, brother, you can't light it. So if you want to hear that testimony, guys, you gotta come to the album launch, because he's gonna give that testimony on the night as well. Believe me, powerful.
Yeah.
So he didn't get saved through a church, and I'm not preaching save him. So so he is one undiluted.
Radical call.
Yes, man. Yes, man.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that's good.
the greatest thing now at the wheel is going to be one of the greatest MCs out of St. Thomas, Pastor Errol Scott. Anybody who knows about gospel events here in St. Thomas, you have to mention Pastor Scott. Pastor Scott draws his own audience just by his name. Powerful man of God.
That's
So
good. That's good.
guys, it's not gonna be normal. It's not gonna be a normal album launch. As Sister Izzy always say, it now go normal.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, man.
As Andrew dropping some comment chat as well. So big up to you, Andrew. Yeah, with 2023 is not gonna be a normal year for a lot of people. We just put a blessing on you, bro, album as well. 1,000 pre-sold,
I must also add. Let me just add one more
1,200
thing
at
there. We go into that. One of the tracks off the album
the.
is Andrew as well. So I actually have a rhythm from Andrew that's gonna be on the album as well. You trust me, that one is gonna be hot. Cause
All right,
if you ever hear Andrew, you know Andrew is gospel soca. So you can know where J
yeah.
Jones coming with that one.
All right, all right. So that's a hint. That's a hint for the track.
Yes,
Big
sir.
up to you, Andrew. Andrew, I saw, while talking to you, I was checking my Facebook page. I realized we're connected, so definitely we'll talk after the show, Sir Andrew. But it's really, really good. And people just go out and support. I'm sharing the flyer. God Soldiers Records present J Jones 876 album launch, and trust me, people like Sister Izzy, Minister Ryan Davis, Vessel. And what I like about your lineup is that you have people who have been there with you throughout the journey. So I can just imagine the
Yes.
night of the launch should be a really good launch. And trust me, as you mentioned, Pastor Scott will be the MC, doing a wonderful job. And trust me, so in I almost said Clarendon, sorry, no bias parish that I left from.
I have
Yeah, man,
Clarendon
St.
roots too,
Thomas.
so
Oh, okay, okay, all right,
yeah,
all right, all right.
a
Connection
parish
is
of my
good.
life was in Clarendon. So you're right.
All right, no problem, no problem. Show worship session 5:30 to 6 p.m. and the show time is at 6:30 p.m. Gentlemen, just come. Thank you so much for joining the show. Because guess what? This from the night of the show, you'll be sharing a lot more audience and for those who are going to this wonderful, wonderful show. So please check him out and any other details you want to share, bro, you can just share with us now before we go. And Andrew, Sister Izzy, Teachers Consultancy, Evangelist Melvina, all those on the chat. Thank you so much for just sharing and for just blessing up the chat. Keep on liking, keep on sharing, and just spreading the good news of this channel. Bless you. Go ahead, bro, and share any other details with you. I'm gonna put Sister Izzy's contact information online on the screen as well for those who want to contact Sister Izzy for any bookings for you and any form of management related issues. But go ahead and share any other details you'd like to share, bro.
All right. So if you're interested in acquiring tickets, you can reach out to us at on WhatsApp at 876-999-6504. Let me repeat that, 999-6504. So that's 876-999-6504. That's our number for WhatsApp. So if you want to reach out to us to grab some tickets, then you can always call that number, or you can always hit me up on Instagram at jjones876. Or if you don't get that, you can use my other Instagram, which is j_says876. All right. So those are my credentials, as well as Facebook, Dwight J. Jones. So if you want to use Facebook, Dwight J. Jones, just give me an inbox, let me know your intent, and we can have a
Yes,
conversation. And if you can't grab a hold of me, my manager is always available on social media as well. So Sister Izzy Thomas
yeah,
on any one of those social media platforms, you can find her. She's not hard to find. So once you're
yes,
interested,
yes.
also also later on this week over by Sister Izzy's platform, we are going to be having
Mhm.
what you'd call a telethon or something of the sort, where if you want to sow into the ministry or if you want to donate to the album launch, we are going to be having something on
Mhm.
her platform where we can do that. So, be giving everybody an opportunity to just be a part of this wonderful ministry, as well as being a part of this extraordinary event that is coming up. All right.
Wow, that's good. That's good.
Oh,
Repeat the last part of your number,
and I
bro.
don't want to get.
You said,
It's 999. It's 876-999-6504.
mm-hmm. All
And
right,
I don't want
great,
to get
great. I'm
myself
just
into
dropping that in
trouble.
the chat.
I don't want to get myself into any trouble. So let me just openly say, big up Tasha Timely Thoughts. That's my wife. So you see the
Yeah.
support turn up from the start. So big up, babes.
Mhm. Yeah, man, that's good, man. That's
Yeah,
good.
man.
Big up to you. Big up to you. Tasha's timely thoughts, and that's really, really good. So 869-6504. That's the number you can call to get tickets,
Yes.
and you can find J Jones on Instagram, and also Sister Izzy's number 1561-703-8995. Thank you so much for sharing that, because we know sometimes you share information, people reach out about so many different things, so
Yes, that's true.
business. Yes, definitely. All right, so bro, it was a pleasure having you on the show. It's really, really good to hear you guys. Please check out Sister Izzy's page as well. Find Sister Izzy on YouTube, and I'm sure Sister Izzy, you love Sister Izzy's music. And from J Jones, the album launch will be a good one. You'll be surrounded by friends who have been coming through, the rough patches with him, and
Yes.
those who have better time in launch. How many tracks will be on this album, bro?
Tentatively, we are aiming for 10. We don't want to do more than 10, but by measure of good grace, you guys might get bonuses. So I'm not telling you too much about that. If you get 10, then 10. But we have enough material to give you more than 10, if you know what I mean.
All right. 10 is a good number, because I mean, most of the albums I'm seeing now, unless it's like
They're just
those,
10.
you know, legendary bands, they are putting out albums with more than 15 tracks. But 10 is a good number. 10 is a good number, and it's really, really good to. We're looking forward to it. We will be seeing all the links on your social media for the YouTube channel as well, J Jones 876. I'm sure Sister Izzy will be blazing that please reach out to them, and trust me, that's really good. Yes, Sister Izzy, 10 is a normal amount for real, and that's really good. That's a good amount for us to digest, and we're hearing some of the previews, and we're hearing some of the sneak
Yes.
peek into the wonderful
Yes.
albums. Go out, support J Jones, any soon. Thank you so much for joining, bro, all the way from Dubai at GMI Radio. Thank you so much. All the way in St. Thomas, Jamaica, and on December 10 in St. Thomas, and that will be a wonderful, wonderful launch. Better Me album launch, and we're looking forward to that. All those people will be supporting you. Big up to them, and we just pray that God will bless you on that night with a really good turnout, a really good album launch, something that will be memorable, and you can just erase some of that terrible past that you have gone through, all the ugly stories and the trouble with the
Definitely.
law, all those things. It's all a part of the journey, and it has made J Jones 876 what he is today. Even in your talk show, you were what you are now, what you're going to be doing, what you're going to become, and that's really, really good to cover those aspects of your life. So your wife Tasha, timely thoughts. Thank you so much for the support in the chat. Thank you so much for supporting this wonderful man of God. And as you go through this process, bro, just stay humble, and just remember, don't bother with the running. Stay to ministry, stay true to the music, and trust me, God is just gonna just fill in all the other parts. He has already blessed you with sister. He's a very good manager, and trust me, are gonna be coming so that your music can be heard worldwide, and we are looking forward to hearing it. So bless you, every single person on the live today. Bless you. Just share the link with somebody, share the interview, share the information, and let's just keep the fire blazing for this wonderful. With Cry Alone, we play already, but I'm going to be ending the show with Cry Alone. You can check out all the other tracks on this upcoming album, and also those
Yeah.
songs that's already on his YouTube go in short before we go? Anything?
All right. So in the comment section, I dropped my 2 channels in the comment section just now, Dayle. So if persons are interested in connecting with those 2, they can also reach out to me via those 2 channels. And as my wife made sure she put in the comment section, she said, "Come on, Sister Izzy, you are preaching." So I never added Dayle earlier that I'm also a preacher, so I needed to put that as well, because I'm an evangelist as well. So
Oh, great,
it's not
great.
music based
So
as well.
yes, that's good, bro. Really awesome to have that, and it's really good that you share, although I'm trying to find that in the chat. So many. But thank you so much, everyone, for the support for the show, and also for the wonderful minister as he goes through this journey. And for those who are in music, you should always know this is not a very easy journey for a lot of people. Some people get it, as
No,
we would say, on a platter. We hear other musicians talk about, it just comes so easy, recording contract, touring all over the world, and success just comes like that. For us, trust me, it becomes a really challenging journey, and I'm happy that you're sticking to it, bro. And it's really awesome to have you on the show. So peace be unto you, my brother, and all the best in the album launch. Looking forward to the album just taking the streets by storm all over the world, all digital platforms. I'm sure it will be available, and we're looking forward to it. All right, so blessings to you and your family, all those who have shared on the chat on all platforms, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Thank you so much for sharing. If I didn't call your name, please don't hold it against me. You know how it goes sometimes when you're live and the message in the chat. But you are more than welcome to be a part of the show. Any thank you so much. And we're going to be ending the show today with "I Cried Alone," a song that's coming from the spirit of this gentleman as he wrote from the situations he went through, and this will be his test. Big up to your son as well. Big up.
big up yourself, CJ. No, I'm still live.
All right, CJ, your interview is coming up next. All right. Yeah, man. We have to train the children, bro, because trust me, he wants that he's doing so he could model that, and you're doing a great job. So trust me, I have no problem
Thank you.
with him, about the interview. So that's really good. So blessings to you, bro. I'm gonna be ending this track. I'm still trying to find your
Come here, CJ. Auntie
link
Izzy
you
wanted to
shared.
wait for her.
The link.
So wait to Auntie Izzy.
Yeah. All right,
Grandma calling.
CJ. That's you very well. Yeah.
Go to grandma.
All right. Blessings, CJ, and thank you for supporting Daddy on his musical journey. All right, CJ. All
Say,
right. I guess he's gone. I
say, all right.
guess he's gone.
No, you shook his head, but don't shake your head. Say yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right,
Daddy.
CJ. All the best. All the best. All right. So this is it. This is it for the show. That's a wrap. Trust me, to you, bro. And men like you, really do a lot for the society because you have a lot to share to other men who might be going through rough times. You can tell them, listen, doesn't
Yes.
matter what you've gone through or what you're going through. I went through that and more, and I'm still surviving. So trust me, it's really good to have you to share your open story, and it will be a blessing to a lot of people. I'm surely blessed by your testimony and the stories that you have been sharing, and it's really good to have you, bro. So God bless you, and I'm gonna be dropping "Cried Alone." See you on about his as well. The Ziegler family. Of next week, we're gonna be having two of my good friends from Gambia. A very powerful story how they moved from Jamaica to Gambia, and they are doing well on their youth. The really will be a packed and for that. Bless you. All right, CJ.
Who knows? Dayle, maybe one
at
of
the start
these.
of the show.
I was saying maybe one of these
Yeah, go
days I
ahead.
can actually have you on my platform as well. So maybe I can have you on
Not a
my show one of these days for you to share your story.
Not a problem, bro.
So
Anytime you're ready,
what's your
just
story?
link up. Just link up and we can share that, man. Not a problem. We're always willing to support. All right. Blessing. Are you able to
All right, no problem.
righteous rock before we go? And then we just drop Cried Alone to end the show. Any parts of righteous rock you can do a cappella for us. Go ahead.
Everybody does rock, 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 rock. Do the righteous rock. Everybody does rock, 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 rock. Do the righteous rock. Everybody does rock, 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 rock. Do the righteous rock. Everybody does move on the feet, move on the feet. Do the rock, do the righteous rock. And also, guys, remember the righteous rock movement is happening now. I forgot to talk about that. An interview righteous rock movement is where you can do your short video, send it to godsoldierrecords@gmail.com, and we put it together and make one big old video across the world. So the righteous rock movement, I'm wearing the shirt today. The righteous rock movement. See it here, righteous rock movement. Yeah.
All right. All right. Follow him on Instagram. Check out Sister Izzy's page. Any information is on this show. Guys, you can check out Sister Izzy. I'm sure she will have all the information for you as well, and that will be really, really awesome. All right, bro. One more time, Cried Alone of Minister J. Jones. So all the ministry, bro, all the best for the few weeks left. So I'm sure it's going to be a lot of preparation for that launch, but we're
Definitely.
pressing on that launch, and we pray that every single person that will be ministering that night just minister and just do justice to that show. Blessings to everybody. Big up to every single person on the chat. Thank you so much for joining from Kaj. Be blessed. Thank you so much. And for everybody who had the chat tonight, sharing, liking, subscribing, be blessed. Just share the channel with somebody so that they can like, share, and subscribe just the same. All right, be blessed.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you, bro.
Show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
It's Cried Alone of J. Jones. Yes. As we go, one more time.
I've cried alone.
So it doesn't matter what you're going through, it doesn't matter what you're going through. I'm sure this song will be encouragement to you. You don't have to cry alone because we have someone who can help you to dry those tears. And we're talking about the man upstairs, the big man in disguise.
Yeah. I just me and my tears on myself. But the tears could have put on the shelf. God alone like me, nobody else. I've cried alone. On myself, but full of could have put on the shelf. God alone like me, nobody else. Yeah. Remember when me did a go through. No for them tell me see me woulda never go through. Hey, but I got a man rock so me go and hold me space and a press in a militant mood. Only for friends live up and move. No job cook place so me never have food. But I got down me back so me just one reflect and a dream of you. I've cried alone. I just me and my tears on myself. Buckle full of tears would have put on the shelf. God alone like me, nobody else. I've cried alone. Could have put on the shelf. God alone like me, nobody else. So with my youth meditation, everybody smile with your once in your reach. Some people rather use and abuse you, mistreat, carry on me in a street. But I got your friend your shield. And wipe your tears so you know God real. So in time the ones you depend on walk from your life, God make sure the thing complete. I've cried alone. I just me and my tears on myself. Buckle full of tears could have put on the shelf. God alone and me, nobody else. I've cried alone. I just me and my tears on myself. Buckle full of tears could have put on the shelf. God alone and me, nobody else. Remember when we did that? No, me woulda never go But I got a man rock, so me go and hold me say some press in a militant mood. Keep a friend slip up and move. Don't job couple days young, me never have food. But I got down me back, so me just want reflect on a dream of you. After the tears, a bottle full of tears, food on the shelf. Got alone with me, nobody else is burden.
All right, buddy. Blessings, blessings. Take care. See you on Monday for another exciting show in the awesome music spotlight. Blessings, everybody. Take care. My name is Ricky. I'm out. Blessings.